Why are we living in a male-dominated patriarchy? And why has the feminine energy lost her power in society? What is the true strength of both the masculine and the feminine, and how can we use that to improve our society? And how the sexualization of women and hookup culture actually feed into the patriarchy? This is definitely not one of those videos where I will butcher the masculine or patriarchy. Quite the contrary. I will actually want to explain what the strength is of both the masculine and the feminine. And this is also not one of those feminist videos that is trying to turn the feminine into masculine in order to have a say in society, because this is not what the true feminine energy is about. Both the masculine and the feminine have their strengths, which we should use in society, and a collaboration of the masculine and the feminine is actually where the true power lies. And that is what I want to elucidate in this video today. My name is Davy. I am a PhD student in chemical engineering at the University of Cambridge. And in my free time, I love to study anything related to law of attraction, manifestation, feminine and masculine energy. And there is a lot of misconceptions going around about patriarchy and these feminist movements occurring that are then against patriarchy, and we should have more women at the top, etc., etc. But these movements are actually working very counterproductive, in my opinion, because we're not using each of these energies to their full potential. Getting away from patriarchy or a male-dominated society is then not by trying to turn the feminine into masculine. Women step into their masculine energy in order to have a say, and as a result lose the power of the actual masculine, which then have to step more into their feminine energy. In that way, we are both weakening the feminine and the masculine. So in this video, I want to explain to you, first of all, why are we living in a patriarchy? Why are we living in a male-dominated society? There is a very clear reason for this. Secondly, I want to explain to you the power of each of the masculine and the feminine energies. Thirdly, I want to explain how sexualization and hookup culture is feeding into the negative aspect of patriarchy. Finally, I want to show you the solution, which is a natural collaboration between the masculine and the feminine, which is the only way we could move forward in a healthy society. This is a sensitive topic in terms of gender as well, right? Am I talking about male when I'm talking about masculine? Am I talking about women when I'm talking about feminine? And I would say this video concerns women that identify as feminine and men that identify as the masculine. But I think a problem in society now as well is that some men are actually not stepping into their masculine anymore and are too much in their feminine. And on the other hand, there are a lot of natural feminine women that are now being pushed to be in their masculine, which is also not beneficial for society eventually. And I'll explain to you in this video why. So I hope no one feels offended, but here I want to address the natural feminine and the natural masculine, whoever identifies as which. The first question, why do we live in a patriarchy? Why do we live in a male-dominated society? Well, there's a very easy answer for that. And that is, as long as we are driven by our primary survival instinct, we will live in a male-dominated society. Because what the masculine energy is truly about is about safety, it is about protection, it is about survival, and it is about hunting back in the day in a way. And you might think that in modern day society we've lost our survival instinct, but actually our survival instinct is stronger than ever. Because making money and wanting more money is a masculine energy that comes from the survival instinct. Being stressed at work, being stressed about the bills is all triggering that survival instinct in us, because it requires us to take action, because the masculine energy is about taking action, about doing things, about taking charge, about taking responsibility. That is what the true masculine is about. And as long as we are in society under the pressure that we don't have enough, which we all are, right? We all want more money, and companies want to get richer, and banks want to make more and more and more. This is all masculine energy. So it is natural for the masculine to thrive in a society that is focused more and more and more, which is a consumer society. So why are we living in a patriarchy? Because we're living in a consumer society, which is driven by our survival instinct. And the natural survivors are the masculine. Now you might ask then, what is the role of the feminine? Well, the feminine is the creator. The feminine is the caretaker. The feminine is the energy that heals, that is more in touch with her emotions, that is the creator of life. It is not a coincidence that it is the feminine energy that carries the child, because she's the creator. She's naturally more agreeable, naturally more empathic, naturally more caring. So do you see that in a society where we are driven by money, in a consumer society where the most important thing that we do in a day, the majority of our time is spent on making more money and working on the economy. Economy is a masculine energy. It is very natural to have more men at the top. It just makes a lot of sense. And it would be very unnatural to want to have women at the top in a consumer society, because women are more agreeable, women are more intuitive, women are more caring. And there is no room for being caring when it comes to making, let's say we're talking about banks who have to make harsh decisions and, cut people's throat, step over bodies in order to make more money. That is something that the masculine is naturally better at, because I'll give you another secret. The masculine actually has more ego and the feminine is actually more spiritual. So in a way, the feminine are more in touch with their emotions. So their connection to the creator energy is stronger. So it is kind of like the masculine energy is here on earth, about the survival and keeping us safe and protecting us. And the feminine energy is above that, in connection to the spiritual realm, to emotions, to creation. To reiterate, the power of both the masculine and the feminine. The power of the masculine is survival. Responsibility is the confidence, the strength, the protective survival energy that we need. And the feminine energy is the creator energy, which is sensitive, emotional, caring, agreeable, soft, allowing, and it's much less about taking action. Now, how is there then a role for women in consumer society? I want to come to my third point, how sexualization and hookup culture feeds into patriarchy. And this might be a controversial one, but as I said, the masculine is naturally bound to be more in their ego. And what that means is that being in your ego and consuming is almost a synonym. Ego always wants more and more and more, right? And when the ego is disconnected from the emotions, it will just take what it wants. Women are actually, in a way, more powerful than men. Why? Because we are the key to creation. True feminine power lies in that creator energy. And what we have lost nowadays in society is acknowledging that we women are actually the creators. The sexualization of women is our greatest asset, is our greatest superpower. It is the key to creation. Our body, or having sex is what it comes down to as well, is the key to new life. But we're not viewing it in that way anymore, because we don't treat our body as our biggest asset anymore. If we look on Instagram or if we look at hookup culture, we've forgotten the value of what it is to give away your body as a woman. Because actually, the masculine energy that is more driven by survival instinct, if the masculine finds a feminine where he can release his emotions, he can actually be kept in check by the feminine. So what do I mean by that? Is that once a masculine finds a feminine that he respects, he will listen to the feminine, right? And with this sexualization of women and with this hookup culture, the masculine loses respect for the feminine, because the feminine becomes something that the masculine can consume. It no longer is the key to life, the key to creation. There are not many masculine or men that walk around and think, oh, that woman looks like could be the potential future mother of my children. No, the way that the masculine look at the feminine is for consumption, is, you know, through the sexualization of women and the way we now normalize to present ourselves and to present ourselves on Instagram or in the clubs or wherever it is. We are presenting ourselves as a consumer good, as something that the masculine can consume. And no one is then looking at the feminine as the creator of life, the future mother of my children, the person where I can, you know, relay my emotions and listen to and respect. And that's why I want to address specifically the feminine here, or women. Don't ever underestimate the power that lies in your sexualization and your body, because that is your creator energy and you should treat it like gold. Back in the day, when we didn't have any protection mechanisms, if you were to have sex with a man, you would have children with a man. And nowadays, we don't even associate sex with having children anymore. But you have to imagine that we are wired that if we have sex with someone, we are giving away our creator energy. We are allowing that person to touch our soul. And back in the day, we would be forever bound to that person. But that makes the decision much and much heavier if you think about it. And the other way around, because there's no responsibility for the men to sleep with women, there are no consequences. They don't have to view this woman that they sleep with as the future mother of their child. They can just see them as a consumer good. They've lost the respect. And when the masculine loses respect for the feminine, who is keeping the masculine in check? Do you know what I mean? So the problem is not the fact that the masculine is in charge or taking that leader role. No, they are meant to be the leader. They are meant to step into that protector energy. But what we also need to realize is that we as women have the power, the key, which is the creator energy, in order to keep the masculine in check in a way, or shape the way we want to be protected or the way we want to survive on this earth. And as I said, the feminine is almost above the masculine, because the feminine can take charge of the masculine if the masculine respects the feminine. And a lot of this respect is unfortunately lost in the sexualization of women and sex that can be bought, gold diggers, hookup culture, whatever it is. It has all become way too easy, when in reality the sex is the biggest power of a woman. It is her creator energy. And once we start to embody that energy again, where we understand our value again as the feminine globally, society will naturally improve, because then men have to be good in order to be appreciated by the feminine. And in order to have access to that creator energy. And they have to be more emotional. And they have to be a little bit more in alignment with the feminine. And that's when you get the balancing of the energies. That's when you get the collaboration. And that leads me to my final point. What is the solution? What is the ideal scenario that we should work towards instead of patriarchy? And that should be a natural collaboration of the feminine and the masculine, where we still make use of the great masculine qualities, which is leadership, responsibility, the confidence. Men are just naturally better in those leadership positions. But at the same time, we also need to create space for the feminine that is in her strength. That doesn't have to be loud or logical or basically in her masculine energy to be listened to. No, she can still be in her sensitive, creative and emotional, allowing energy. But now there is respect for that and there is space for that. And she communicates with the masculine and allows him to also have access to the emotions. Because the most powerful thing there is not the masculine on its own, is not the feminine on its own. It is a perfect union of a healthy masculine and a healthy feminine. Those two combined can go further and further than a male-dominated society or patriarchy has ever gone. Because then we have both aspects. We have the survival and we have the keeping us safe, and we have the creation and the emotional side, which also means when it comes to society, being kinder to the earth, being kinder to people. It is the kindness, it is the caringness. And let's say we have a society where we both have the safety and also the caringness and the sensitive emotional side, which makes sure that we take care of our people and our earth. If you combine those two energies, you will literally end up with a perfect society, because then we both have enough resources, but we also are not hurting anyone in the process of getting them. That was my rant, guys. I'm really curious what you thought about it. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think on this topic. Leave me a comment with your thoughts. And if you like this video, definitely give me a like, subscribe to my channel. I would truly appreciate that. And if you want to know more about me and my personal life, feel free to follow me on Instagram as well, which is Davy_Citram. And I would love to see you in my next video. Sending you all my love.